Kickin with CoolKicks podcast. We got a special guest today. I got my brother Vic Blends in the motherfucking building.
What's up, fam? I appreciate y'all having me, man.
I
didn't know this was like during store hours.
It is. That's what makes it even more unique, so people can see it live.
Keep it natural, man.
We keep it natural.
We thought you was gonna bring your clippers, so I get lined up while we doing this.
But if I start cutting here, I ain't gonna be able to leave. They ain't gonna be able to let me walk out of here, man.
I feel like slightly disrespectful coming in here with my lineup.
I know, right?
Shit, I looked in the mirror this morning. My shit was fun.
Yeah, no offense, man. No offense, man.
Nah, y'all good, bro. Y'all good, man.
Nah, for sure. How are you, man?
Bro, I'm blessed, man.
Good.
That's dope. That's dope.
How y'all feeling?
Blessed, man. Another day. Today's what, Wednesday. Time is flying.
Wow.
Thanksgiving just happened. Christmas is about to be around the corner.
December
Any plans
1st
for you? What you got going on for holidays?
For holidays, for me, for the last 2 years, I try to do a lot of philanthropic in my hometown, Fayetteville, North Carolina. So we're going back this year, doing another Christmas give back, and I usually go home with my family around then in North Carolina. I stay in Atlanta. I've been in Atlanta for like the last 2 years, going on 3 years now. So, like that's home, but North Carolina's where my heart is as home for real.
Small world. I used to live in Fayetteville.
You live in the Ville?
Yeah, Fayetteville. I went to Westover Middle School.
What the?
It's crazy. Small world. Summerlin Elementary.
That's crazy.
Remember Summerlin?
Yeah, well, I know Westover and stuff.
Westover.
Yeah.
It's crazy. I used to live in Fayetteville. My dad was in the military. I moved from New York to Fayetteville probably when I was like maybe like 8.
Yeah, I mean that's how most people would get to Fayetteville. Like Fayetteville is a really unique place. It's a small town, but it is the biggest military base in the U.S. So it's a huge military presence there. So almost everybody there is a transplant, and then you'll find a very few locals that are actually from the Ville, but you get there through the military. So I got there, going into 6th grade in middle school, and I spent like the last 10 years there before I finally came to Atlanta.
Great experience. You think that shaped who you are?
I mean, absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. Your city has an impact. Your environment just has an impact on you wherever you're at. If you're in your hometown or you're in LA, people are products of their environments a lot of times, man. So, it had an impact on me. More than anything, it taught me how to make something out of nothing. As much as the love-hate relationship is, when you don't have a lot of opportunity, you got to make the most out of what you have. So, there's a certain type of love for that country you live in, like just not having too much around you, being able to be with your friends and talk about things, find things to do. And, I found myself getting into different subcultures. I was skateboarding when I first got to Fayetteville. I started running tracks. So I'm trying to find different places to fit in at, but you got to keep busy like that. Because if you're not busy like that, you're going to fall into some shit you don't want to fall into.
Exactly. Especially in those small communities, like poverty-stricken, you just got to do something
What else
positive.
is there to do? If there ain't nothing to do, people just going to shoot and fight each other.
Yeah.
They're just going to look around and get bored.
Try to hustle somehow, some way. And when you hustle without no directions, the violence comes. That's what I think,
So I always stay hustling, But like speaking of hustle, bro, because it's crazy. I don't even know if I really. So I told you a little bit when I first came, but sneakers was the first business that I ever really did in my life.
Let's talk about that. Tell us.
What time was that? What time frame was that?
I was in high school. I think I was a freshman or sophomore in high school. Never owned a pair of Jordans. Never had. I got 3 other siblings, so. I'm not getting, fresh kicks
maybe
for school
forces,
like
maybe.
that. Like
Christmas.
we wearing some regular shit. Like parents took care of us, but I'm not getting the newest drop every week. This just wasn't how it was going. Military household, bunch of kids. So, I wanted Jordans, and you gotta stay. Everybody
siblings?
at school got them.
How many siblings you have?
Well, I got 3. I got a younger brother, an older sister, and an older brother.
Okay. So you like your middle child?
Kind of in the middle. 4 of us. I'm kind of in that middle, but everybody got J's. I'm like, man, I gotta get some J's. Like somehow, some way, I don't know where to go. There's no sneaker stores in the Ville. Like
nowhere. Now you're not.
I'm trying to figure out how do I get in the game. I'm trying to get in the game. Put me in the game. How am I gonna get in the game? So I had this dude, a friend named Xavier, who, man, this dude was Xavier was like 6. He was like your height.
Yeah.
And I was telling him like, man, I want some Jordans, bro. I don't know how to get some. He was like, what size you wear? Oh, there go the legend right there. But I like, yo, what size? You like, what size?
Yeah. Rami the Icon, what's up, my
Rami the
guy?
Icon here.
Hey, what's up, baby?
Brother.
Hey, I'm proud of you, man.
Why?
I always see your TikTok all the time, bro. Yeah, I remember the last time when I came to do the YouTube joint, and we talked about that, like how you were gonna take your content serious. And I know they've been giving you flowers, but I remember that, like, that was like 6 months ago, and like I've seen you on TikTok ever since.
Working.
Yeah, keep doing that shit, bro.
Legend.
That's amazing. Yeah.
Growth.
All right, so look, Xavier, he like 6'3".
Yeah.
Probably wear a size 12, 13. I ain't gonna expose my height, but I wear a size like 8, 8.5. I don't got the biggest foot. I wear like an 8, 8.5. You know, whatever. Clown me in the comments, 8, 8.5. I tell him, he like, oh, I got some J's in your size. Like, how you got some J's in my size? He's like, oh, I got some like old ones at the crib. You know, I ain't seen them in a while. I don't know what they look like, but like I could find them for you and I could bring them to you on Monday. Told me on Friday. I'm like, I bet. So he brings me some gray toe 13s. They're the 2005 drop.
Wow.
Gray toe 13s with the silver box, and they're beat to hell, like totally torn. But he's like,
sure.
yo, but they ain't my size. And he's like, you can have them for free. You know, they bleed on the they bleed on the side.
That's
and shit. It's
crazy.
like some of that shit you just
I got
can't
a similar
fix.
story. I will tell you after.
So he's like, yo, I got these gray toe 13s. So I took the gray toes and I tried to teach myself how to restore them. That was the first thing I learned. Was like, all right, they beat, whatever. I'm gonna learn my lesson to restore them.
Yeah.
So that was my first time, like trying to learn how to clean my shoes, how to glue a sole, how to like use the heat gun on the air bubble on the 13 to take away the foggy air bubble. Like I'm doing my due diligence, trying to make sure these shits are fresh, so I can at least wear them to school. Yeah. They were flopping, bro, like sole separated. I had to do the whole 9 yards, but I got them for free, so I'm grateful.
Yeah.
So I fix them up. I wear them a couple of times. I get an offer. Somebody has some size 10.5 Olympic 6s. I don't even wear 10.5, but I knew them shits were better than my gray toes. So I got them to do to do a trade for me.
Yeah.
They were like piss yellow Olympic 6, piss yellow, like the dirtiest 10.5s. Couldn't even wear them. I was like, fuck it, trade with me, man. That was my first trade. Gray toes to the Olympic 6s. Okay. All right, got the 6s, 10.5. I'm wearing like triple socks to school now. Fat ass 10.5 shoes on my feet. I take those, and I think I get a 2-for-1 after that. And that's why I came up. I got a 2-for-1 for the Olympic 6s, and I think I maybe threw like $20 in on that trade. Once I got the 2-for-1, now I got 2 kicks I could go 2 separate deals with. So now I take those 2 kicks, and I start like, you know, that's how it started. I don't know the exact train from there, but down the line, I ended up having like one of the best shoe collections in Fayetteville.
Heck, dope.
I ended up coming across this guy that was in the military that didn't really understand, you know, it sounds bad. Maybe sound like a bad person, but he didn't really understand resale culture. He didn't know that like shoes resold, but he got them because he was interested in them and loved them, and got them in Europe when he was stationed there in the army. So he's like, you know, fresh guy in the army out in Germany, like buying all the shoes. He doesn't really know like, oh, is this thing like gonna resell for a lot? I think his name was Chris Gill. Hey, you know, if you see this, Chris, dog, thank you. You know, you got me reach out a lot, but it's long. This is long. I ain't tell the story forever.
Yeah, that's crazy.
I remember I seen some Cherry 13s online on the Facebook like trade group, and they was for like $80.
Yeah.
And I'm like, damn, these shits like dead stock for $80 in my size. It gotta be fake. Like someone gotta be scamming. So I pull up and I'm like, hey, bro, like, you know, I'll take them. He meets me in the parking lot of the movie theater, and he opens his trunk for the 13s. And the reason they were low, he was selling for so cheap because he had like accidentally cut the tongue with like a razor blade. So it's like this very slight cut. You can't even see it. But he's like, oh, I cut them. You know, they're not worth nothing. I was like, I'll take them, $80. But when he opened his trunk, bro, there was like 20 boxes of shoes back there. Like Heat, Myro 7s, like, you know, for the love of the game set, like all types of like Heat. And I'm like, what you gonna do with the rest of these?
That's how it was. And
he was like, I ain't know if nobody wanted these. I was like, well, how much you want for them? Bro, I bought a pair of white cement 4s and cool gray 11s for $120 for both.
Wow.
Brand new?
Brand new.
That's crazy.
And it's like, you know, not that I was trying to take advantage of them.
Yeah.
I'm just like, bro, I think I'm like 15 at the time, 14.
What year is this?
Maybe 2013, 14. Maybe like 2013, 14. Early days, bro. Shit's
before
getting
StockX and Go.
Shit's getting hype.
Where you can't look
before
it up.
StockX and Go. Like, you know, so there's no, it's hard to understand the market if you're not into it.
Yeah.
Exactly.
It was just eBay at the time, right?
So he's selling me all these kicks for cheap. You know, like I remember I had some infrared 6s, like varsity red 6s, like the which year they came out?
The good color ones.
The good color ones. I hated all the infrared kicks that came out with that pink ass red. Yeah. But I don't like that pink red, bro. I had this love for shit that like Jordan hooped in, like this like nostalgic feeling of having kicks that like really had a history and a story to them. Like that's what I liked about the certain shoes that I would wear and shoes to buy. So when the new shit was coming out, and this is the same time when like really the new drops started getting like
came out in 2010, I think.
Like they started dropping like too much of the same shoe, and it just started getting watered out. The soles got so blue and icy. I don't really like the blue icy soles. I like, the yellow, clear, the you know what I'm talking about. So, I'm coming up on all these kicks, bro, and it came down to this realization where I had every shoe that I could possibly want, and I walked everywhere. I said, that's so backwards.
Oh, okay.
Like how I got every shoe in the closet, but I ain't got no car.
Yeah.
Like that, I can't be walking. What the fuck? I got all these fresh kicks, and I'm gonna crease them because I ain't got no car. I look like a bum.
No
fresh
bike?
as hell with no
What age you feel
car.
like you realized that? Like,
Well, I was 15.
15?
I was 15. I bought my first car on my 16th birthday to myself because I had all my kicks in the crib, and by this time, bro, I got like double dead stock of like every 11. I'm like stacking this shit up, bro, going crazy.
Oh, real sneakerhead.
I'm tapping
OG.
in. Yeah, I'm tapping into like I started my own like Carolina sneaker market, like Facebook trade group. So I'm really in it. Like I'm knee deep in it, like running the shit, kind of like creating a name in my city. And I looked at my room one day, hella boxes of shoes everywhere. I'm like, man, ain't no way I could. I can't even go pick a girl up. Like what the fuck? I got the freshest shoes, but I can't even go pick a shorty up to take her out. Like. So I just sold everything, bro, and I think I sold everything. I had maybe like $6,000 in cash, and I went to go put my first down payment on my first car, and like that was my transition. It was the first one was it was like a Ford Focus. It was like some Ford Focus.
A lot of people's first car.
Yeah, my first car was a '97 Chrysler 300. The bumper was broken in the back.
300C?
I had a Honda Pilot, a 2005 Honda Pilot.
That was my first.
I had like a '99 Mitsubishi Diamante, two-tone, red and white.
It's just
crazy.
crazy.
Like the ice
Looking
cream
back at
page
those
job.
days, it's crazy. But back to what you were just saying. Now you had like $5,000-6,000 worth of shoes. So my advice, if I was in your foot,
what would you have done? What would you have done?
I'm gonna be honest with you. What I would have done, I would have still winged it. And I had no car. When I moved to LA, I had no car for the first 12 to 16 months. I was Ubering everywhere. Because I put all my money in sneakers, and I kept on flipping shoes, 1 shoe to 4 shoes, 5 shoes, 10 shoes. It got to a point where I was making some sort of profit margin where I put it to the side for that car. So what I would have done with your instance, if you had 4 to 5K worth of shoes, I would have kept on growing it like the way you've been growing it through your Facebook pages and all these connections that you had. Get it to the 7K, 10K, 15K. And once you got to that number, then you get that 5K for the car. The other 10K, you keep growing that pile to add more equity in sneakers.
Yeah.
And now you're double dipping. You got the cars and you got product.
Yeah, maybe that but like, yo, Fayetteville, like you gotta have a car in the Ville, bro.
Yeah, I get what you're saying
like,
too. Is this like in your situation?
My
in the
situation,
community?
I just had to get some wheels.
What was the
wheels,
situation? Were you getting pressure from family, friends? Were they calling you like you're a bum because you got a sneak?
just for myself. Like, for myself, I just thought that was like just backwards. Like, I just thought like, man, I can't be like flexing shoes with no car. Like, man, there's like certain things like as an adult becoming a man, I just had to do. I got to make sure I can't. I don't. Bro, you gotta rely on like you gotta be able to take care of yourself. I didn't want to be calling everybody to come drive me here, drive me there. You gotta be self-sufficient. So
no Uber back in the day. Like,
it wasn't. I couldn't afford
it.
it. I ain't no Uber or nothing like that. Like I just had to, I had to make that decision. But
Makes sense.
From there, I never really got back into it.
So where did your journey go from there? This is like your 10th grade, 11th grade. You get your car. Then where does life take you?
I get my car. I start running track in high school. I'm getting into different things. I'm like, the sneaker, I got love for sneakers, but now it's like love, hate. Now I'm like, it hurts me that I'm disciplining myself right now to like not spend my money on those things because I'm trying to save for other stuff right now.
For sure.
So I kept saving my money. I just kept working at the restaurant, man. I think the sneakers would have been a great hustle, but I just saw security and having like a job, and like there was all types of wild shit going on in the field, bro.
Yeah.
People trying to scam me, fake shoes, get in the car. We gonna drive down to the ATM down here. I'm like, man, the busted ass car trying to get me to get in the back of the car. Some dude pulled up on me with some fake Flint 13s trying to get me to drive down to the end of the street to go to an getting robbed. Like dude trying to run off with my shoes. Like
that's how it goes. Dude,
bro, man, I met this dude late night. He like counting the money like this. Let me see the shoes.
Parking lot.
Trying to run. I'm like,
that's the bad part about the game, right?
All that
like,
shit. I went through all that bullshit, and then from there I just kind of like started hustling the legit, just going to the restaurant, being humble, working, and then I actually saved up and I paid my car off. I ended up paying my car off. The first $10,000 I ever saved in my life. As soon as I saw $10,000, I ended up getting like a Chevy Malibu because something was wrong with that Focus, but I got a Chevy Malibu. I traded it in, and then I was like, dude, first 10,000 I get, I'm gonna pay it off. I can't have no, you know, my parents tell me like, if you could pay it off, pay it off. Like, don't have no bills, don't have no car payment. So I'm in high school, still just grinding, bro, being disciplined, working as a server. So serving became my hustle. I'm like, you know, trying to get extra tips, make sure everybody give me a tip. Smart. First 10 grand, I pay my car off in high school. Really proud of that moment, you know, to dope, say I paid a full car off in school was I felt good. So, you know, from there, I think I gained a lot of hustle from that sneaker community, bro. I was like, I learned how to hustle. Bro.
Yeah, it's about hustle is a thing. You gotta learn how to flip, get an item, flip whatever the item is, learn how to save the profit, move the profit to something else, and reinvest.
That's why I respect a lot of sneaker resellers because they're real hustlers. If you can do it in the sneaker industry, you can do it in crypto and NFTs and trading cards. You can do anything.
Like, that hustle
copy
and paste is gonna apply to anything 100%, you do.
100%. That's that mindset.
Yeah.
So let's talk about after graduation. What was next for you after you had this job at this restaurant? What was next?
You know, I'm coming in the
What restaurant was it?
It's Rudino's, like a sports bar called Rudino's in Hope Mills. I was working there first as a dishwasher at 15. So I'm like flipping shoes and washing dishes under the table. And those were my two hustles at the time. And then I became a server, became like a manager. I'm like doing a bunch of different things at the restaurant.
Still grinding and growing.
But I'm like, I've been there for 3 years. It was my first real job and my last like job that I did working for somebody else like that. And you know, I was coming into senior year. I'm like, damn, I think I got to go to college. I don't know what I'm about to do. But I'm like, there's no way I'm going to be working at this restaurant for another year. That's one thing I won't be doing. I've been here 3 years. I've seen guys in the back that have been working there their whole life. I'm scared now looking at the guys making pizzas at like age 40. And I'm like, you know, no offense to them in their situation, but I'm just like looking around like, hold on, man, this shit really ain't it's not a nice place as I think it is. Like as a kid, I'm starting to grow up and realize I got to make some change. So, you know, that's when I decided that I was going to start cutting hair. And I got that idea because I sat down in the barber shop one time and that same question I asked my barber as a mentor, like, hey, man, I'm about to go to college next year. I can't work in this restaurant no more. I don't know what I'm going to do in college, but I need to know how to make money. That's all I cared about.
A lot of my homies that I met in college, their hustle was that too.
Yeah.
Cutting hair like in the dorms, and if they could get hired by shops, cool. So, but
I didn't even know what I wanted to study because I was too worried about how I was gonna make money.
Yeah,
I didn't even know what class I would study. I just knew that I need to eat. Yeah. So I need to make $5-10. If I can learn how to cut hair, I can make $5-10. My barber told me if I learn how to cut hair, I'll make money for the rest of my life.
What school was you at?
School, I didn't. So I was supposed. I applied to like
college.
I applied to maybe 6-7 colleges. Yeah. Got denied to every single one of them. You know, it's competitive to get into college. You need a good GPA. By the time I figured out that you really need good grades in the GPA, that's already senior year. I'm too late. GPA screwed. I took the SAT 3 times. I couldn't get over 1,000 on my score. I'm feeling like, let down. I applied for like scholarships, didn't get accepted, lost the ROTC scholarship. I'm feeling hella mediocre and really, really average. Yeah. I'm watching my best friends and everybody around me go to their first pick colleges, and I'm like, man, what's up with me? Like, why am I not like on the ball here? Yeah. And it's not that I'm dumb. I got a great mindset to hustle, communicate, and work with people. But if you look at it on the books, I'm not the smartest person. Yeah. So it kind of like rubbed me the wrong way because I'm seeing people get help to go to college and scholarships and grants just for being smart in the books when they had nothing else to worry about. Exactly, right? So I'm watching some of my friends, bro, that have to go home and be adults and take care of their family and go make money because they got a single parent. Yeah. And like that kid is so deserving of going to college and getting a scholarship and getting help to pursue his dream. But because he doesn't have time to do homework like some other kids do, he doesn't look good enough on paper to get accepted or to get a scholarship.
He got to do something else.
So that kind of like, I was like, man, what the hell? Like, I think I work harder than anybody in my school, but you can't tell when you look at what I do on paper. So I didn't get no help to go to college. I'm like, fuck it, I got to find a way to go. So I ended up getting denied everywhere. I finally get accepted to UNC Pembroke, which is in Lumberton, North Carolina, UNCP. You know, the UNCP is it's an all right school, but it's just like one of the easier schools to get into.
Chowan?
What was that?
Like Chowan? You heard of Chowan?
No.
North Carolina Central?
Oh, yeah.
It's like similar like that,
For sure,
right?
yeah. So it's like a smaller school. You know, it's still in the UNC program, but it's just like the easiest one to get into. Yeah. So I get accepted there. I go to the open house. Bro, I got lanyard, hoodie bought, backpack, all UNCP Pembroke. My mom's so hype. Everybody lit. Orientation, open house. But I'm like sitting there kind of like dazed. I almost feel like I'm like not there.
Yeah.
Because I'm like, I can't believe I'm walking through this because I don't know what I'm doing. I don't feel confident in this decision. So, you know, it's not feeling right. I'm feeling on my heart that God is telling me if I cut hair and take barbering serious, it would open doors for me.
Yeah.
That was the clear message that I got. So I'm battling between this message I feel like I got from God and then this decision that I feel like everybody wants me to make. And then when I got the message from God that like, yo, if you take barbering serious, doors are open for you. That's all he said to me. Not what doors would open, but they would open. Just you gotta trust me. When I got that sign, bro, I was like, yo, this is beyond my decision or my parents' decision. And as much as y'all would like hate me and hold this against me, I feel like God isn't gonna be happy if I don't do this right now. You know, in college you'll be there, bro. Like I could go at any time. It may be harder when I got a family and I get older, but that opportunity is there. And if I want that shit bad enough, I can go and make it happen.
For sure.
But the opportunity I got right now to be 20 years old, to be 19 years old, and to do something with barbering that's never been done before, to be able to inspire a generation of people was only going to last for a short amount of time. So I wanted to roll the gamble on seeing what God had meant for my life through barbering. So I took that chance. I told my parents I couldn't go to college. I told them like, yo, I can't go to Pembroke, but I'll go to FTCC and I'll take barbering at the same time because my barber school is at a community college. So they're like, all right, fuck it, as long as you're taking classes. So now I'm like, all right, it went from Pembroke to now I'm going to go to barber school and I'm going to take college classes on the side. So I'm like, all right, I'm one step closer to getting what I want. But still, I'm like, I'm not all the way jumped in. I'm still holding on to the college and I'm trying to make it work to please them. And I'm looking at, you know, all right, I'm about to be busy as hell going to barber school all day. And then I'm going to have college classes on top of that. I think this might be too much. I may have bit off too much than I could chew. So I had to make a decision. I'm like, hey, look, I know I told you I'll do this, but look, how about we do this? How about I go after I graduate barber school? I'll go after. Give me a year because I just need to lock in on this year. And they just like, you know, man.
Was they open to it? They were
you know, of course not, you know, but not because they didn't, you know, love or support me. It's just, you know, it's unknown, right? Like my parents weren't entrepreneurs. They didn't grow up from that. They didn't grow up in that culture. So I can't expect them to be on board the first time that I tell them I'm about to go do something.
Of course.
They hear you growing up your whole life saying that you're going to be this when you grow up. You're going to do this. I'm going to be Batman, Superman, the president. So
NBA.
like when you tell your parents finally, hey, this is what I'm about to be, it's kind of like, you might be going through a phase.
Exactly, yeah.
You might be going through a phase. So, you know, I made that decision. I go to barber school. I lock in. And I was just betting on myself to make sure that by the time I graduated barber school, that I wouldn't have to go to college. I was like, I need to be making enough money. I need to be established enough by the time I graduated that like college.
Are you
is
still
out
doing
the
the classwork and while you was in the barber school?
Nah, I refunded those classes too.
Yeah.
I dropped them shits too, bro. I just committed all in, bro. And,
how long is barber school?
It's a year. You know, it's per hours. It's hours actually, but it takes about a year. 1,528 hours in North Carolina that I had to go to school for. So it took exactly
so every
a year.
barber I see out there going through that same path?
Not every barber. There's different pathways to getting your license. There's apprenticeship and then there's going to school. You can go to school and get your license. And it's the fastest way to do it, or you could be an apprentice and work under somebody in the shop, still like get a book, and you're supposed to be learning the book.
Makes sense, yeah.
And it takes about 2 years, but we don't have that option in North Carolina. I had to go to school, so I had to make this commitment to go to trade school for a year.
Yeah.
You know, and when I'm making this decision, like I said, I'm confident in it, but I'm not knowing what it's gonna end up being for me.
Of course.
And I'm almost still feeling like, you know, it's what I love to do. It's what God told me to do, but man, I hope that I'm like enough to be celebrated one day. I hope I have enough to really inspire somebody, because honestly, like just being a barber was never like all I wanted to do.
Makes sense, yeah.
You know, so I'm just like still not even feeling all the way confident about it, and just hoping that like I could at least get out favor when I get out of barber school and I could go do something.
Yeah, I mean, well, from what we see, you are very inspiring, and being like from that like same bubble, like Virginia area. We're from Virginia, and I lived in Fayetteville, so I understand, you know, the growth you had to go through to, you know, sacrifice what your parents would or what the norm is to like dive into your hustle full on, all in. So big respect to that.
Bro,
you are very
bro.
inspiring to us, and I like what I see. And how old are you now? 23?
23 now,
Yeah, you young as shit.
Yeah, that's young.
You're a long way to
I'm
go.
younger, man. I feel like I'm getting old though, but like 23.
Young OG.
I can't even believe I'm 23 right now, bro.
So
I was
at what age did you graduate from barber school?
high school, what, 18, 19. I'm 19 with a license now. 19 with a license, cutting in my first barbershop.
So what's that like translates like I graduated from college, and then I had like the 2, everyone had the 2-3 years in limbo, finding a job. So after barber school, how does that go? Like,
man, now I'm running it up, bro. I'm making 6 figures like my first year, cutting hair. Yeah, because I set myself up for it. When I got to barber school and I needed to make that decision, like, yo, I can't go to college after this. The only way I cannot go to college is if I'm making a good enough living. I gotta be making some real money here.
What do you feel like?
So when I was in barber school, well, the first year I cut was in high school, senior year. I learned, I got all right. I got good enough to
without the license.
Without the license, 1 year cutting in high school, I got all right.
So people was fucking with you in high
So
school.
I went into barber school with kind of like a year of just experience cutting in the garage and messing around. And I got into barber school and I grinded and I grinded and I grinded hard, bro, to make sure that my craft got to where it needed to be to make a good amount of money for myself. And then I built my clientele while I was in school. I'm going to school from 8 a.m. to 5 p.m., coming home, getting home by 6.
5 p.m. school.
And I'm cutting,
barber school.
and I open my schedule, 8 to 5. It's like 8 to 5,
Damn.
Monday through Thursday, Friday, 8 to 12. I get home at 6, and I open my books at 6, so I'm letting people book me. I go to school all day. I let them book me in school to come in on the low. I let them book me at the garage. I go home, and I cut from 6 to 2 a.m.
Wow.
6 to 2 a.m.
That's how it goes,
and I
man.
wake up at 8 the next day. I go to school, and I repeat because I got to get my money. I got to save enough money. I got to make sure I'm good by the time I get out of barber school. I got to grind. I got to get my work in.
So you was still living at the crib at home?
I was living with my brother. I moved out of my mom's house because, I was cutting in my mom's garage.
that's what I was about to ask,
there's a lot of traffic coming through the garage. A lot of people coming in
Was she
and out.
open to that or like hesitant to like?
They were like open because at first it was just kind of a cute thing to like let your son do. He'll cut a couple of his friends. And then very soon, like
Got
my
too
mom's
much
garage
traffic.
started getting trapped out. People lining up for cuts.
Yeah.
People coming
Yeah,
through.
that's
She was like,
music
nah.
blasting. You open the garage, it's like 20 kids in your garage, like waiting to get a cut from your son. It's like booming.
It's like a barbershop.
You know,
in the
I
garage.
got like a kerosene heater in there trying to heat it up, trying to get the vibes going. So
I feel you on that. I feel you. That's how like.
What was you charging for a haircut at the time? What was your price?
$5 or $10. $5 or $10.
I remember those days, man.
Do you feel like then it was the clientele that was really allowing you to make this one? I feel like 100,000 or 6 figures or whatever
But
it
it
was.
wasn't even the clientele. It's $5 to $10.
$5 to
that's why I'm like,
$10.
what do you feel
How
like
many cuts
separated
you gotta
that?
be doing to make 100K?
I'm doing a ridiculous amount of cuts,
Has
but
to be.
I'm also saving my money. Obviously, like I've been very disciplined to save my money, which is why I was able to like, get my car in high school. Like I said earlier, like just being able to say like, yo, what's up, fam? How you feeling?
Yeah, good.
Bro, bless, yeah.
More in the building. More money.
Clocked in.
So being,
I ain't close.
Like, get my boys every time.
yeah. So like having the discipline first to be able to say like, all right, I got all this like clout at school for having 5 kicks, fuck the kicks, I'll wear Vans. Like I'm already telling myself like, there's better things long term I can have.
But you was already popular though at that time.
Well,
in
like,
the area.
for having shoes and stuff. That's why I saw it. So like, I'm knowing it within my community. It's not a big community. It's not the biggest place. So,
definitely.
but the discipline came from already like just knowing, all right, I could have way better stuff later if I just save and save and save. So I'm saving my money through school. I'm making hella money because I'm just doing a ridiculous amount of haircuts, bro. If I could pull up my books right now from like my old bookings, it would be like 16, 17 haircuts a day for like, a weekend, and then like 5. I can only fit 5 in a night when I come from barber school, but it would be like, bro, I'm doing like maybe 200, like 100 something cuts a week.
Yeah.
Like just going crazy.
Is that like? I big respect to barbers because I know it takes a long time for you custom hair, right? But you're doing like that high volume of clients a day. Does that like have any wear and tear on you, like after?
Mentally, physically, anything.
Bro, I'm 19 with a dream. Not
just
even
going.
thinking about it.
Not even eating.
Not even eating. No breaks. Like fuck my body. Fuck anything. Fuck the sleep. Like I would do anything, bro. I wasn't worried.
Did you have any issues with any of your clients tripping on you for fucking up their hair or anything? Because I've talked to some barbers before where they.
I mean,
that shit ruins their day when their clients giving them bad feedback saying, "Damn, you messed my hair up."
Bro, it happens, but like you're human, man. Like
Did it affect you anyway?
Nah, never, bro.
You got
Because it'll grow back.
99% accuracy right here.
Brush it off, bro. I mean, look at the kicks that come in from Nike, directly from Nike, that still have
Still has
defects
flaws,
on them.
yeah.
Like
You're right.
made by a human. My boy Mez told me like, hey yo, don't forget everything in this earth is made by a human.
always
which
errors.
means there's a place for error in
Always.
everything. You know, you can't just trust something because if it's made by a human, there's a place for
That's
error.
a bar.
Even if the machine ain't made it, the machine was made by a human. So it's always gonna be error in
Everything
everything.
made by humans.
Yeah.
So because of that, you just gotta understand there's a possibility for anything to go left at any time. I'm just human for everything. You know, I'm not perfect.
Makes sense.
So now you're 20, 21, you're making 6 figures. What was next for you? How did you become who you are today? Where is that transition?
Well, you
in
know,
your
I
life?
found a lot of early success within barbering. I'm going hard, hustling, trying to like make a name as this best, biggest barber, cutting every celebrity and you name it. Like I'm
Who was
trying
your first celebrity?
Dennis Smith Jr., my brother Dennis Smith
Oh,
Jr.
my dog.
NC State,
Big
right?
bucket,
Bro,
yeah.
NC
my
State.
brother, man,
Yeah.
like one of the most important people in my life and gave me my first chance to like
fire.
have a client like that, but then to have a friend with that level of success changed my life. and my
Big
perspective.
respect to Dennis Smith. I seen his grind from high school to
Nah,
NBA,
bro.
bouncing
You know, it's
back.
crazy.
He's still in the league now, right?
Bro,
Still
right
in Charlotte.
now, right now, Dennis is getting his, bro. He's coming
getting to
back
it.
for everything that he ever wanted, everything, all the doubt, all the shit, bro. Like,
Everybody was down on him.
man, Dennis is one person I watched not complain once.
Yeah.
He tell me this will come with it, Vic. Every time this will come with it.
Every
It get
time.
great. It get great. This is 10 Dennis quotes right here. It get greater later, and this is what comes with it. Bro,
Bars.
through everything he went through in his career, I'm watching this dude, you know, get dogged at the highest level, and I'm watching him not flinch.
Yeah,
So
at all.
me with my shit that I got going on, that I think is like big. I'm watching my brother like be at the highest level and not complain.
Yeah.
Not say a word, not go to media, not run his mouth,
Not at
and
all.
not
He
make
just
an
hoop.
excuse.
He's
He
get
kept
back to
his
it.
head down and he locked in. So like, I thank God for my friend like that I got placed in my life because I got to see at an early age like, all right, when I get to that level, this how I'm gonna carry myself.
And how do you
So-
meet him? Is the environment? Y'all went to school together? Or
Nah,
just in the-
dog. I
in
didn't
the
know
way?
him. I didn't know him till he got drafted. You
Okay.
know, like I didn't.
Damn.
It's not like I grew up with him.
But
in
he's
the
from
Ville.
around the way, though.
He from around the way, but he from another side of town. So I'm cutting a guy that would train him.
Okay.
Our homeboy named Rel is
Yeah.
our mutual. I'm cutting Rel in my mom's garage, like. You know,
Crazy.
so Rel's like, yeah, my boy Dennis Smith Jr. about to get drafted. And at the time, I'm just so focused on cutting. Like, I don't really know what's going on in the city.
Yeah,
I'm
that
not
makes
really
sense.
worried. I'm in my own world. Young kid, I'm just focused on cutting. He like, nah, he about to go. He about to go. And I'm like, you know, we hear that all the time when you grow up in a city like that. Everybody's about to do some shit. But I'm working in a sports bar. So one day I'm in a sports bar. I look up on the TV. The NBA draft is coming up, and number 9 pick Dallas Mavericks, Dennis Smith Jr. from Fayetteville, North Carolina. I'm like, God damn, like they weren't lying.
Yeah.
Whoa.
Like, bro, really made it. So the next week, I'm in the restaurant, and you know, I'm just sitting there waiting for my food to come out the window, and I look to the front, and I see like at the corner of my eye, like my peripheral, like you know, someone walked past. I cut over to the other side, and I see Dennis running the bathroom. I start tripping. I'm like, oh shit,
Yeah.
like that's him. Like that's who Rel was saying. Like that's Dennis. Like, so I'm like, this is my opportunity, man. I gotta give him a haircut.
So you
But
just broke the ice.
I broke the I kind of waited for him to come out the bathroom. I'm kind of waiting in the area. And he comes out. I kind of like, you know, bump into him. Hey, bro, congrats on everything you're doing. I would love to give you a cut. First thing he said to me was, we from the same city. So if you help me, I'm going to help you.
Real one.
And I was like, wow, okay, bet. Let me show you my haircuts. He's like, yeah, show me your cut. So I'm like nervous. So I'm pulling out my hand shaking. I'm trying to show him my cut. Shit's not loading. It's like one of those situations
Yeah,
where your
like,
data
I guess I
start
can show
working.
you.
I'm
Yeah.
shaking and I'm like, man, everybody in the restaurant starting to notice him. I'm like, dude, chill out, but this is my moment right
Yeah,
here. Chill,
facts,
y'all
facts,
chill out
facts.
for a
Wait a
second. And I'm like, let me give you a card before you leave. And I reached in my wallet, bro. I had one last business card in my wallet. It was the last card I had
That's
in my
God.
wallet because I would give them out to tables.
Yeah.
And every day when I come to the restaurant, I would bring a stack of like 20 cards and I would pass those cards out to the tables like, hey, I know I just served y'all, but I'm also a barber if you want to cut. And, you know, like,
Hey, that's
so
how I
I'm
go.
trying to make it happen. Give him my card. He like, all right, bet. I'm thinking, all right, that's not going to go nowhere. Walks out, texts me, immediately lock in, you know, and, you know, the rest is history. You know, we've been locked in since, so I'm extremely proud of him,
He's
man.
back in Charlotte now, right?
He's in Charlotte right now,
Yeah.
going
Full
crazy.
circle. It's crazy.
Full
Yeah.
circle, bro. Absolutely. So
Crazy
that
how
was the
life
first
happens.
one, but
Who are some of the other big names that you be cutting out?
you know, I've cut a lot, bro. I've cut a lot, and honestly, man, like I try not to really speak on it because it was a great time of my life when I was chasing that and wanted to have those
Yeah.
experiences, and I had a lot of great memories. And still, bro, amazing friendships I built through, you know, being a barber for somebody and working and servicing them. But you know, the most important thing about what I do now is like what I try to do for community, what I try
Makes
to do
sense.
for
We
others.
see that
like,
too.
cutting a celebrity I think is great, but it would be wrong of me to sit here and try to put as much value on that as
over everybody,
over what it means to do something for your neighbors or do something for your family or do something for people that you really, really love and love you. You know, because I found myself giving my like 100% of me to people that really didn't deserve 100% of me.
Makes sense, yeah.
You know, and I'm being at service so much. Like when you a celebrity barber, bro, dudes is calling me out of my bed, bro, to come to the studio at 2 a.m., leaving my girl in the bed with my dogs, missing dinner to go cut for a couple $100. Yeah. It's a really demanding thing, bro. And it may look good when you take that photo after, like, just
like,
cut Pocky, like, just cut Pocky, man. Look at his damn head. But in reality, when you look at what you went through to do that, it's like, my girl didn't deserve that. My family didn't deserve that. I didn't deserve to like just walk up and drop anything I'm doing to go cut somebody. Like my life really matters too, and the things that I want to do. So I started getting this vision from God about like what my purpose was gonna end up being. So I kind of drifted from that and I stopped chasing that, man. And I was forced to make that decision because the pandemic came.
And pandemic was a good eye opener for a lot of people.
Extremely, bro. You know, it's a hard time for many, but you know, for me, it was a turning point because I had to really adjust and redefine who I am.
Exactly.
You know, I came into the pandemic at the peak of my like career of barbering. I'm teaching classes and cutting celebs and charging $100 a cut, getting this money. You can't sit in my channel unless you got $100. I'm like, you know, just chasing the dollar, chasing the next notoriety for who I was gonna cut. And
do you think chasing the dollar and your notoriety could put you into another way that you want to go? Chasing the money so much. I mean,
bro, it put me in a really bad position mentally, and it put me in a spot where I had to redefine myself. And I thank God that I came out of that, because when the pandemic came and the federal government said nobody leave their house
at all.
All right, my livelihood was around cutting and having another human contact. And I can't have that anymore. So now I got to sit at the crib and think, who am I really? Like, who is Victor Fontanes if I can never cut hair again? And I had to really redefine myself. And you know, one of my famous quotes that I always say is, don't let what you're good at define who you are.
Exactly.
Who are you if you can't do what you're good at? So when I heard that, I sit at the crib and I'm like, fuck, if I can never cut hair again, do I have any other, you know, value to offer to this world? And that's when I started speaking during the pandemic and really trying to define what my voice was, because I didn't need anybody to do a video of me speaking. I could sit right there with my phone, whip it out, talk about what I feel, put it on the gram, already had the platform, like, and I'm gonna put it out. So I saw that it was a time, you know, I did that during the pandemic, and I think it was a time that everybody really needed uplifting, but I needed it for myself.
It was good, like, but when you uplift others, it makes you feel better inside as well.
I needed it for myself, man. So when I did that, I saw an impact through my words that I didn't think I could have. And that's what made me feel like really, really fulfilled, more than it did like a comment about a rapper I cut, right? Like when somebody tells you that like they're inspired, man, it means a lot, bro. It absolutely means a lot.
Especially because you don't know where they coming from, what they got going on.
You don't know, man. You just gotta take it so diligently, man. Like when people come, and that's why I embrace so many of the people that support me. And you come up to me and you see me, man, I want to give you a hug every time, because I know what it felt like to come across somebody you look up to and not get looked at twice.
Exactly.
And I'm like, God, if you ever put me in that position, I promise you I'm gonna use it for the right reasons. I would say that word for word in the garage, you know, specifically, bro. I would just pray that like if I'm ever seen one day, God, if I'm ever heard, I promise I'll use it for the right reasons. Because in high school growing up, we just didn't have a spitting image of like, I didn't have a mirror image of somebody that was also young. Somebody that was also young that could show me a different way to do it. There's a lot of people that we can look up to that were a little bit older than us that were doing dope things. But for myself, I'm like, all right, who else is like 21, 20, 19 that's like successful and not doing drugs, not doing bad shit, not, you know, influencing me in a negative way? And it didn't have that. So instead of waiting for somebody to save me, I decided to save myself and be the change that I wanted to see. And that's why I chose that path, man.
Yeah, God got you always. I say that too.
Every time.
Yeah, always, no matter what, no matter how bad it could look, no matter how, you know, things could go south, just know that, keep your faith. Everything's gonna figure it out.
Every time. So, you know, during that pandemic, during that switch, when I started speaking, at the same time, I felt guilty, man, because I do feel like I'm blessed with a gift to cut. I feel like it's a great gift, and I don't want to deny that gift. That's why I got a barber pole on my arm with an angel. With the angel, you know, like God giving me, you know, the pole. Like I feel like that's my blessing, my guardian angel watching me with my gift. That's why I got that tattoo. And, you know, I felt guilty. So I'm like, how do I merge the two? How do I use my gift And how do I use my purpose? Like speaking is what I feel like I was there to do. So I'm like, damn.
Just telling your story.
Yeah, so like when we get out of this pandemic, I'm gonna go give a stranger a cut because it's just gonna open the opportunity for me to have my own stage to have a conversation. The videos I make now, I think a haircut is the vehicle, but it's really about the connection. It's really about the conversation. It's really about just showing how similar we really are. And then when I found that too, man, it just was like, I mean, it changed my life, man, for real.
Yeah, I feel like you learn a lot, like about so many different people when you encounter different people and you're in different situations, like you were saying. It's eye-opening because you interact with people that you may have never interacted with before and hear their story,
I mean,
right?
most importantly for me, man, what it was like, you know, I'm going through things that I feel like nobody else is going through, and I don't really know where to go through to get help with those things.
Like what?
Like mental issues. You know, some shit that I just like, I don't really know where to go to get like help for this.
Sure. Yeah.
I don't really think anybody feels me. And everybody feels like that when they go through shit. You feel like you on an island.
Reflect. Yeah, just reflect.
An island of depression where nobody could fix it. And man, when you talk to a stranger, somebody that walks next to you, like every day on your way to work, every day on your way to your local store, casual people that you would never speak to, you'll be surprised that they're going through the same shit that you're going through, bro.
And it brings you peace of mind.
And if you just have a conversation to find out that you're not alone and that other people are getting through it, you can find a solution on how to get through it for yourself. And that's what I love the most about what I do is it shows us how connected we really are, regardless of your skin, your color, your age. Like, man, a haircut is a haircut, a convo is a convo. It doesn't change. Sit down, let's talk about what's going on. And like, fam, I think we need that. Like, we need to come together.
You feel like you get a lot of people to really open up to you about what's going on with them?
I would say so. You know, I would say I've, you know, of course, like worked on my craft, like trying to be a good journalist and interview and speak to people. And then more than anything, just trying to have intentional time with people when they sit with my chair or they have a chance to talk to me anywhere. Just trying to make it feel really intentional when they're there. So like I think that allows somebody to feel comfortable and open up on my chain. That probably what leads to that.
Yeah, barber. My barber, like any barber I've ever had, is always like a open ear for me. Like someone you can talk to. You know, the closer you get,
it's already a nostalgic feeling.
It's
you know,
already
everybody's used to like going to sit in the chair and having those combos. It's a little weird now getting your haircut in public outside on camera.
It's different.
But I still try to work past that, and I always like calm everybody down in my chair. Like, hey man, like, I know it's different. Yeah. But look, man, all I want is an honest conversation. If there's any, you know, just it's me and you. Don't worry about nothing. Because now when I cut outside, thank God, but like there's a lot of support, people coming up. So somebody that doesn't really know what's going on, and I try to look for those people all the time, it could be a lot of like, man, I'm about to tell my like deepest, darkest secrets on camera to TikTok for millions. Like it's a vulnerable situation, but you know, I just relate and let everybody know, like, I go through the same thing. I share things, too. I share it with you. You share it with me. And, like, the after feeling, when you really get something off your chest that you ain't get off, it's the best feeling, man.
Yeah, best feeling. Now, we created a platform here with CoolKicks probably, 6 years in? And the biggest thing we try to get back is get back to the community. Because we came from, you know.
Nothing.
Yeah, nothing. Like, similar background from people we know. We meet a lot of celebrities, a lot of, you know, people that can afford a lot of things, but we really focus on the people that are similar to us, like, you know, same background, same upbringing, same growth, because we see what we came and got, and we want to give back to them so they know that it's attainable. So I feel like with you, I see your TikTok videos and your conversations with them. It's just kind of the similar conversation. You're just letting them know that, hey, you're similar to the person in your chair. And although you're like, you know, growing popular and, you know, making a good name for yourself and money and wealth, you're still being humble and modest. That's the biggest thing.
It's just like none of that matters when you sit down and you have an honest interaction with somebody. You know, it's their time, man. It's their time in my chair. Like, you know, people know who I am, man, but when somebody sits in my chair, they're the star. Like, I want to make sure that they feel okay and they feel like they're heard. Bro, sometimes you never even feel heard. Growing up in Fayetteville, North Carolina, you feel invisible sometimes, dog.
Yeah,
like,
bro.
So when somebody gets an opportunity to feel heard, it's one of the most embracing feelings ever. And that's all I want people to feel when they sit in my chair.
Yeah, big respect on that. Big respect. You think, you said you're 23 now, right? And you think barber cutting is maybe your calling, maybe not, but speaking is. Do you think you would change, or do you see yourself transitioning something else past that?
You know,
what's next for you?
I don't define it, you know, because at this point, I feel like anything is possible. I've been shown that so many things. I've woke Bro, I made Forbes 30 under 30 yesterday.
I was just gonna
That's
say
amazing.
that.
Congratulations, bro.
Like,
Congratulations. That's a big
You
achievement,
know,
bro.
and I don't, you know, it's hard because when you an entrepreneur, bro, you really hard on yourself and you have this such high standard. You never really celebrate yourself or give yourself the flowers. And how I used to try to motivate myself before, man, I used to look in the mirror and tell myself I wasn't shit every day. Like, man, you gotta fucking keep going. You ain't done nothing. And like that kind of got me through like the last couple years.
Yeah.
But long term, bro, that was extremely unhealthy for me, bro. And when I started
very
looking
unhealthy,
into the mirror and telling myself that, like, yo, you the one.
Yeah,
You
exactly.
got it.
Speaking to existence.
You're him.
Yeah.
I love you. To myself, it changed like how
So
happy I
with
am.
the accolade, it's a huge accolade. What if you didn't make the list? Do you still feel like you'll have no change on your trajectory, have no change on your progression? Like,
I mean, yeah, like, bro, I mean, some of the effect that I've had on these people, bro, is priceless. And regardless of any notoriety, I know that
Exactly.
I'll live forever for what I was able to do for my community.
yeah, see, for fun
And-
fact,
and
we
for-
actually applied for that list. Forbes 30 under 30, probably what? Two years
3 years
ago?
ago?
We probably like
4 years ago.
3 years in a row. We
Before
never made the
social
list.
media like blew up.
Yeah,
The
we
Curver shit.
never made the list. We looked at like some of the contest, like the people that won on the list, read their bio. No shade, but we was thinking like we was doing a lot for the community. We was making a good amount for ourselves. We created like a brand that's popular amongst the world. We was like what 28 at a time.
28.
Applied 3 years. We didn't make it, but that didn't, like I said, didn't really stop
Yeah,
us.
but that don't define
Yeah.
you,
It
bro.
don't define
Like,
us.
bro, I mean, I feel good because I was celebrated.
It's been
and like, bro, I
acknowledged,
gotta
yeah.
like, you know, the cool thing would be like, oh, like just say it doesn't matter. You know, in the big picture, it really doesn't, man. Like it's just an article when you really
That's all
look
it
at
is.
it. But to be celebrated for like waking up every day and chasing your dream, it just feels good. And,
Yeah.
and you gotta celebrate yourself sometimes. So yesterday I got to celebrate myself for the
That's
first
dope,
time
man.
in a long time, bro.
Great
It was
amazing.
a surreal feeling. So, you know, I don't really know to that question. You know, I don't know what's next. You know, I'm not married to that. I gave up the idea of like, I'm not a barber. You know, I'm not a barber. I'm not here to be a barber. If God has opportunity for me to go and keep speaking, bro, and I could do some fire shit, like I see myself living in a lot of different things in the
Yeah.
future. But I mean, wherever I could be at to use my voice, I'm gonna go do that.
I see it from even this conversation. You was a sneaker reseller. You was a
Hustler.
dishwasher. You was a barber.
You know,
motivational
'cause look,
speaker.
it's
You
that
got a lot
mindset.
I'll
of
say that.
It's
Look,
that
this is a
mindset,
great
honestly.
story. This is a great story right here. All right, so look, this is how it all comes full circle. When I grew up, I told you I wanted to be a skateboarder, pro skater, right?
Yeah.
And I've been having a special trip here in LA. I'm feeling the energy. So when I grew up, I wanted to be a pro skater. That was my first love.
I did too. I
And
sucked
you
at
know,
Me
they
too, I
got.
sucked at.
I was living in Germany at the time, and I was like dreaming of being at the barracks, skating with
Yeah.
pros at the barracks in LA, like looking at like California skaters, California dreams of like hitting the streets and skating. Like I want to do that one day, man. I'm gonna be there. I'm gonna be a pro skater. And you know, I stopped skating. I try to run track. I try to like, you know, I'm pivoting
Makes
and
sense.
pivoting and pivoting. But bro, I threw that prayer up a long time ago. That shit got answered last night, man. I went to go skate with Paul Rodriguez, bro.
That's my guy.
P-Rod, my
Bro, I went to
dog.
go
Yeah.
skate with Paul Rodriguez, but
The
not
GOAT.
as Victor Fontanez, the pro skater.
As a
I got there
kid.
as Victor Fontanez, like the guy that I am today.
Makes sense,
Not a
yeah.
pro skater, but I'm there still, regardless of like what you say my title is now. I envision when I looked at myself skating with Paul Rodriguez, it would be because I'm on the same skate team as him, or I'm in the same competition as him. But now, like, because I trusted the path that God had for me, I still got there regardless, bro.
Yeah.
I didn't give up on it. I still found a way to do it. And now, like, I'm just looking at anything I want to do now. I'm like, I'm going to knock it out. I could do anything.
Yeah, I feel you on that. I feel
Any
you.
dream that I want, anything that I want to do, I could do it now, bro.
Everything's
it may
attainable.
not look originally the way that I thought it was going to look, but I'm going to get there.
You'll,
God got
you'll
you.
find a way to
And,
maneuver and,
as
make it
long
happen.
as you get there, that's all that fucking matters. I don't care if you get there with a different title or no title. Like, if you get there, you get there. And I got faith that I would get there. I ain't know that I would get there yesterday. I may have gotten there in the next 10 years, but like, bro, you know, faith is like believing some shit when you can't see it, man. I got
Yes,
there
man.
yesterday.
You gotta believe,
I-
close your eyes and believe it. I feel you on that. Growing up, I wanted to be, you know, NBA player. Growing up, I wanted to be Allen Iverson. We grew up in the same city, Virginia. Never met him. Never got to play basketball with him. Moved to LA 6 years later. A
year ago, my birthday.
Like a year ago on his birthday, had a conversation with Al Iverson in the club. Like
Come on, man.
real conversation. Full circle.
It'll all come full
Real
circle.
conversation
It'll
with my
all come
dog.
full
AI in the
circle.
club. He paid homage to us. He knew who we were. Knew we were from Virginia. that to me was like, I bet.
Bro, that's major,
God
bro.
got us.
That's major, bro.
Seeing somebody you idolize and them knowing your work is just the greatest feeling ever.
It's a good feeling, man, because I'm just like, I'm glad I made it here as me.
Yeah,
Because
exactly.
this is like who I am.
More
And
authentic.
I'm living in it every day to be myself, bro. And to be accepted for myself at that level, it feels really, really good, bro.
Exactly.
You know, like,
I tell kids all the time when we see them, they try to wear, for example, they try to get the coolest sneaker, the most hype beast sneaker. I'm like, nah, be yourself. You're gonna be good regardless. Do whatever you like. Any sneaker you hear like, any clothing item, any vibe you want to be on, stay original, authentic, because it's easier to be you than to be someone
it's
else.
the easiest job, man. Everybody's taking, man. Just like be yourself. Easiest job to do in the world,
Hey, big respect to you. I got a question
appreciate
about client. Patrick Beverly said that he hates that barbers are charging overpriced for NBA players. Does your price change versus me if I want to cut versus
Well, I haven't taken a client in like 2 years. I haven't like I stopped really like cutting for appointments and like for a while. So, but obviously I used to be in that field and so what the question
is there a different price range per like if
for
you
what, like a
occupation,
celebrity
I guess?
versus
So say a benchwarmer NBA player versus a star player of the NBA team.
Nah,
Is
bro,
there a
look,
different price?
That's what I thought.
Look, I'm gonna set this because I've been watching Pat Bev. I've seen
Please.
the shot taker. I never spoke on it, but look, this is
Tell
a good
us.
spot to do it. Look, everybody's a celebrity.
Yeah.
That's how you treat every client. Everybody matters. Everybody's time matters. Like if you're going to do a service, charge everybody according to that service.
Yeah.
Stop dropping your price for opportunity. You don't lower your price because you want to go cut a celeb and I want to make sure he just like keeps calling me back. Bro, treat everybody with the respect that you want to receive. Right?
Exactly.
Demand your respect. So, I mean, what was he saying? Like what, $200,
I don't
something
know.
crazy?
Something
Like,
like,
I mean, bro,
overpriced
at the end of the
basically.
day, like when he want to get his check cut for his worth and his craft, nobody could tell him what he's worth.
Exactly.
So for somebody else that feels like their work is worth that, regardless about how anybody feels, it's subjective.
Yeah.
Everything we do is
Everything.
art. Sneakers is art. Haircutting is art.
Yeah.
Basketball is art. That's a talent. You feel like you worth that? You worth that, bro.
Exactly.
But honestly, bro, like $200, $300 for a barber to drive and give up personal time away from their
Exactly.
family to drive to your house to cut you in your underwear while you play 2K in your living room and
Yeah.
blow smoke in his face.
Yeah.
Like, bro, that's a luxury service.
Luxury.
And that person has to get paid for their time accordingly. I think things got to be, within means, but at the end of the day, that person feels like they're worth that, man. You got to respect everybody. I don't disrespect anybody for their worth, right? A photographer feels like he's worth something. If I feel like I can't afford it, that's just on me. But I won't disrespect that person to say
That's
you're
it.
all
worth
the time.
it. It just don't fit for me,
Their
fam.
price is their price. Like
Yeah.
I don't ask for
respect it.
discounts for anything. If anyone give me anything,
Bro,
like,
but just don't disrespect nobody for their craft. Like
Exactly.
if somebody feels passionate about what they built or did, regardless of what your opinion is, like let them do their thing.
Don't negotiate the prices.
Don't
Now
bring
you
them
going to
down.
what
Don't
they
sit
all
them down.
It's a lot of work
negotiating
that goes
stuff.
You
into
know,
It's a lot of
because
work,
look,
yeah.
man, there's a barber for everybody. There's a sneaker for everybody. There's a brand for everybody. Some are worth more. Some cost more. Some cost less. There's something out there for everybody,
Everybody.
but you ain't gotta knock the next person because they feel comfortable getting, their price or their shoe or whatever. So, just bro,
yeah, we
just
deal with that.
respect
We deal with
folk,
that
yeah.
here. We give a lot of. We have a lot of celebrities come in. We do sneaker shopping videos. We do like giveaways for everyone. But we get like feedback from in the comments. People thinking we're giving celebrities a free shoe versus like the regular person. We just want to let everyone know out there. We treat everyone like you said. Everyone's a celebrity. You're a celebrity at home viewing this. LeBron James come here. We treat them all with the same respect.
Yeah, that's
To be
Everyone
honest,
same
our
respect.
everydays are more celebrities, if anything,
Yeah.
because they come and support us on a daily basis. They come in here whether sell shoes, buy shoes,
They support.
whatever they came in.
Yeah,
Even
but
if they come in
y'all
here to
got
shoot.
y'all got a great exchange, man. People always have their opinion, man. But like, when your likeness and your brand becomes like the thing that you do,
Yeah.
like it's a even exchange, man. Like the marketing, the help that you guys do, like it helps each other, man. And it's just a nice even exchange. It's tasteful. I came through a sneaker shop, like I felt good because bro, I watched y'all sneaker shopping videos for the last 2 years, like
My dog.
Love.
hoping one day, like, I hope if I walk into CoolKicks, they'll let me sneaker shop with them. And like, I
dope.
came in and y'all did it, bro. And like, I feel good that like I've brought myself enough value to like be able to have like really even exchanges and have fruitful relationships on both ends. You know,
Exactly.
Sure.
Do you have a family? I don't know
like
if
what
I
you
asked
mean?
that. Like, do you have a wife and kids?
Well, I got a girl. I don't got
Okay.
no kids yet.
Okay.
I hope to have kids, and I hope like to have a really good family. Like,
That's what's
yeah,
up.
that's in my. I can't wait to be a dad, man.
How
Like
long,
something I dream
how
about.
long have you been in that relationship?
I've been with my girl for the last like 3 years.
That's what's
So,
up.
much
Do you
respect,
feel like
bro.
that's been important to you in like your progression and your growth?
Man, my girl, like, she like saved my life, man. I got to give her all the credit. Like, absolutely. I like really couldn't be myself if I didn't have my girl.
Yeah.
You know, because when we battle the world, we come home and it's like such a tight, you know, it's a tight world in your home. There's not a lot of people around, and I didn't have any friends or family when I moved to Atlanta. I don't have roommates. I don't have brothers living with me. I'm living by myself. The only person with me is my girl.
Yeah.
So like, yeah, I go out there act tough for the world. I come home, I gotta cry to her at night.
Yeah.
Feel me? Like this, she's the one that
Stability.
sees. She's the one that sees the shit nobody else sees. And I mean, man, she sacrificed so much just to be there to support me and even putting her own dreams on hold for me. And like,
Much
bro, I'm gonna
respect.
take care of her forever for that, man.
Yeah.
Like she took care of me and my household and make sure I got everything I ever needed. I never got a question, you know, having food on the table. I never got a question having clean clothes. My girl's a superhero,
Fuck
bro.
with that. That's dope. With like the success and everything that you were having, did that cause any like conflict or anything that kind of made it hard to get through with everything that you guys been through?
Countless hours traveling.
Nah, you know, like, because like, you know, communication is extremely important in your relationship, man. And just explaining to your partner as you grow, and they, you know, there's 3 lives in a relationship: your life, her life, and the life y'all live together. So all 3 lives need to be taken care of.
Yeah.
I gotta make sure I still feel fulfilled as Vic, as my own person. She gotta still feel like Katie, her own person, and we gotta feel like the life that we have together really feels fruitful.
And balanced.
So all of that has to be balanced. I can't like put my life on the back burner to take care of this, because
Exactly,
everything
yeah.
will catch
That's
up,
true.
it'll bunch up, and you'll crash one day.
true.
So I make sure that we have, you know, uncomfortable conversations about how do you feel like where you at, what is it that you want to do, how can I help you get there, like how can I help you be the best version of
Communication is
yourself,
huge.
and how can we live together to you know, create this life. So
No, I
you know,
respect that, because the
communicate
last
that.
3 years for you, you've blown up and your whole life changed in the last 3 years. But while she's been there, so a lot of
That's the
people,
thing.
it might be someone else, but they would have maybe switched up on the girl. One little argument might have fucked them up. You know what I mean? Another girl might have just walked in your life and been like, all right, I'm about to leave her
Man,
for
fam,
her.
I ain't no dummy, bro. There ain't nothing new under the sun, bro. Ain't nothing
Exactly.
like, ain't nothing another shorty got that like my shorty ain't got. You know,
sure.
ain't nothing
Respect.
I'm missing, bro. Like, I'm like, that's just being real. You
Yeah,
know, like,
it's been heavy on discipline and
Discipline is
understand
important.
what's out there, what you got, what you need.
I
You
mean,
don't
cause like,
really
bro,
need
when I
much
want to
in-
build, it's like serious, bro. I want family, I want legacy, I want like kids, bro. I want to make sure like I got somebody here that's gonna carry on the name, like
Yeah.
who, like I need to make sure she hold it down, like that's serious shit, bro.
For
And I
sure.
feel like I got that right now, and you know, I don't want to. What am I gonna gamble thinking it's gonna be better out there?
Yeah.
Nothing.
What is gonna be a fatter ass out there for me, or like, you know, someone with
Longer
some
hair
better,
or whatever.
longer hair or some shit like I got everything I could ever ask for, bro. I'm more than happy. You know, it can't get better.
That's what's up.
That's love. We're about to wrap it up. Hey,
Yeah.
Vic, it's been an honor.
Bro, thank you so much, bro.
I
I
got
feel
nothing
like
but respect for you. You already know that. For the
Yeah.
first
Nah,
episode.
likewise, bro. I've been a fan of this for so long, and I'm glad we got to come do this twice. And you
Mad
know, bro,
people hit us, and when you posted on your Instagram IG story, it said any LA podcast people, maybe like 20 people will send me
Yeah.
that shit.
Wow, bro.
Because
And I
you're
was
more,
like-
like you said, you're more than a barber. Me having this conversation with you in person, realizing your upbringing, being from like the small town you from, grinding how you been doing. Much respect to that, because we try to inspire every day, because we know how hard we work to get to a certain level, and to link up with people like you have a conversation is like a blessing to us. So we appreciate your time, though.
Bro, thank you, man. This really meant a lot to me,
Nah,
man.
I
And
really appreciate that. That ass.
My dog, Vic.
To everyone out
Legend,
there,
man.
Legend.
smack the like button. Check us out on Spotify, Apple, YouTube, everywhere.
Yeah.
Shout out to Vocal Group. Shout out to QC. Shout out to the entire team.
last thing, yo, man, I've been trying to do these podcasts, bro, because I just gotta say one thing, man. We could probably clip this for TikTok, bro. I'm not a bot, man. I don't only speak in quotes, bro. Like,
Yeah.
I speak well, man, but I
Right.
promise you, I talk shit like everybody else. I laugh,
Yeah,
joke.
big
I like to
facts,
talk
yeah.
about bullshit. Like, people, I think some people got this idea that I'm like a robot.
That's
dog.
just real.
Like,
You're a real one. You're just a
dog,
real
I'm
one.
like
You've
everybody
been
else,
that comes
man,
from your
yeah.
experience. And you've been this experience so much that you learn
But
so
yeah.
much. You can still keep
To
it
the
real.
cool, hey, to the CoolKicks fans, bro. Thank you for the love on the last video when I came through. I hope y'all love this one, man. Like, comment, subscribe. Shout out to the QC family. Shout out to, you know, thank you, Pocky, and the
Man.
family for having me, man.
Legend.
So,
Thank you
Anytime,
for
bro. You're
coming,
always
man.
welcome here, man. Appreciate you. Keep being
sure.
a real one. Wish you nothing but the best for your future.
The weekend's
Do it.
coming
Thanks for
up.
kicking it with
Get
us,
it.
man.
I need a
Peace
lineup.
out.
Legend.